G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for a quick video about Path of Exile. This is going to be my plan for 3.22, as well as letting you all know what's going to be happening with the channel. I just want to mention at the start of this video that I've tried to play the last 3 leagues in a row, and I've hated all of them. So potentially I'm going to bounce off this one as well, in which case we'll go back to Grim Dawn and Baldur's Gate 3. But this league does look good, and I'm actually excited to play Path of Exile for the first time since Arc Nemesis. I'm going to be binging Path of Exile for at least a week or so, assuming all goes well, so Grim Dawn and Baldur's Gate 3 content will be very thin and potentially even stopped for a little while, but it will come back. The next thing I want to mention is that I'm planning on playing the first weekend live on the channel, assuming there are no major hiccups and I actually want to play it. I'll be streaming to YouTube, so come on by, jump into chat and tell me I'm doing it wrong, call me a noob, and tell me all about your build and why it's better than mine. At this point, I'm planning on being live for several hours, both on Saturday and also Sunday. That's not 100% set due to real life potentially throwing banana peels in the way, but that is the plan. After the first weekend, and depending on how things go with the live streams, I may or may not stream more, but I do plan on having daily recap videos for at least the first few days, maybe the first week or two. This league looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I've got a few builds that I'm looking to play. I'll be honest with you, I have the build that I know I should pick, the one I should play, and then I have several other builds that I know are going to be worse, but maybe a little bit more fun. I'm almost certainly going to choose which build I'm going to play about 20 seconds before I make the character. Or if past experience is anything to go by, it'll be as I get to the end of the beach and decide to reroll. So these are the builds I have in mind. The first one that I think is going to be the strongest, and the one that I think I should play, is a Mana Bond Hierophant, which will start with Spark, then Arc, then Lightning Conduit, and then way later, when we start maps, or maybe after maps even, transition into a cast while channeling Mana Bond Mana Stacker. It's not an easy build to do, but I'm actually really excited to see how it works and to see how smooth the transition is. The second build is a Cold Dot Occultist for leveling, and then transitioning into a low life cast on crit Ice Nova or Ice Spear as I'm able to. This is a build I've done before and it is very, very strong. It also can be quite squishy, and it does have issues getting started with the spinning and winning, but once you get going, it is very, very good. The third one is an assassin version of the cast on crit Ice Nova slash Ice Spear, which is similar to the Occultist, but it has less kind of top end power. It'll top out at a lower power level than the Occultist will, but it is much easier to get started, and you can start it with nothing but your first Ascendancy and a higher crit chance dagger or claw. So we'd be doing about 40 levels of Freezing Pulse, and then straight into Cyclone cast on crit Ice Nova. And this build has a very, very smooth ramp up from like level 40 with 1 Ascendancy and a Magic Dagger, all the way to whatever level you get to with a lot of uniques and very expensive gear. The fourth build is an Arc Elementalist, which would transition into either a Herald of Thunder Autobomber or a Fireburst Ignite Autobomber, both of which I have played before, both of which are great fun, and both of which are glass cannons. They're a lot of fun. If you haven't played an auto bomber, definitely give them a try. As far as which one is easier to get into, I would say probably the Fireburst is easier to get into, and probably the Herald of Thunder would be the better character overall. But of course, all of the starting builds that I'm going to be starting those characters with are strong enough in their own right to be played as the main build. So Lightning Conduit Hierophant, Cold Dot Occultist, Freezing Pulse Assassin, and Arc Elementalist can all run well into the end game all by themselves with the right setup, so you don't actually have to transition into a air quotes end game build. So that's the plan. I'll be live streaming the first weekend and potentially after that with daily recap videos. I'll be choosing a League Start character pretty much on the beach, though I do know it should be the Mana Bond Hierophant. And I plan on binging PoE, so kind of don't expect too much non-PoE content, at least for a week or two. And yeah, that's the plan. So I hope to see you all in the chat, although I know most of you will be actually playing the game or doing other things. But that'll about do for this video. So thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.